Welcome, Gemini. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your reading, a message from Spirit. There is no particular vision. I'm just seeing what the cards are emerging, are showing me, and I've started with a couple of oracles. So let's begin with the wild unknown archetype. I pulled the sword, and the sword is not a really very complicated archetypal energy. It's really more about making a decision, making an accurate decision, prioritizing, separating one reality from another. You can't hesitate with this decision. This is one that needs to be clear and decisive. And you, at this moment, are completely willing to act. And because of the energy that is radiating from the new moon in Taurus towards your 12th house, the house of endings and beginnings, you are seeing something fully clear, I believe. You're understanding something that you've been working with for a while in a broader way. And in that sense, you are wanting to cut away what is not a priority, what may be impeding the progress or the growth of this. When we think that the first cord cutting occurs at birth, so that we can become separate individuals in order to grow into our own lives, then we understand the necessity of these clean and sometimes violent seeming separations in order to promote the growth or progress of something else. So this is coupled with the stability and column. And number 42 reduces to number 6. So this is the energy of the lovers, which is one of the cards of yours in the higher arcana, Gemini. So this is about integrating various aspects of something in general, but this is also about, I feel that the sword is useful to cut away things that may be impeding the passage through a portal. So vines get entangled in portals and on columns. And for many of us, this is a domestic aesthetic, right? We love the vine covered gates, the vine covered portals or entrances that are alive, beautiful. But they can also impede the growth of things. Thinking about someone trying to get through the door who has a lot of bags with them, for instance. This is something you can observe in passports, maybe not so much anymore, but you once could. This is really clearing away the excess so that something can grow more productively. This feels like it's focused on something professional, but it can be about money within a family or an organizational structure. So there's a project that or an effort, an activity that needs to be supported in order to move forward, that has to be prioritized as more important. And all the excess enmeshment is being cut away or removed. In the present, the Two of Staffs is oddly echoing the same idea yet again. However, with the Two of Staffs, this is more understanding your strength, your particular gift, your talent. This may be a professional practice that you're really good at. And yet you're understanding that you haven't gotten the results that you would have wanted in the past or in general. And in order to move, expand, grow, in many ways, you have to branch out. This may be a reference to the current project that you are trying to unbind, clear away the debris or the excess so that you can focus on the progress of this new initiative, new project, even new employment, new aspect of the business that you have. And you may be not weighing back and forth, but in anticipation of the results of this effort. So there is a sense that you're making a decision and then waiting to see how the consequence of that decision shapes up. In the past, the Ten of Staffs is describing the way that you have perhaps in the past been carrying a lot, carrying the responsibility for a project, carrying the load of the work, and how exhausting this is. This typically speaks about an excess of responsibilities, too much on your plate. It's not your job to do this for everyone involved. And yet, in the past, that was a practice you employed. You were the one, perhaps because of your skill in a certain area, that spearheaded and followed through on certain initiatives that benefited a whole host of other people. Could be, again, family members, co-workers, clients, but you carried that weight. And you have not received the reward, the recognition, or the benefits that you believed it could bring. And that does justify a kind of streamlining approach, perhaps as a result of the failures or disappointments you've experienced in the past. You're really focusing solely on what's most important now and how do I free that up to grow. I know it's a good idea. I know I can learn a lot and I can receive a lot through this effort that I'm willing to put forward. In the future, the Fool card. Wow. So this is feeling very destined. It's feeling like a brand new start because there's a feeling of a lot of history here with former relationships, current relationships, or efforts you've made in a particular way. And the sword, I'm thinking about it in terms of the tarot card, is really about the truth, an idea that is powerful, a revelation, an illumination about something that for you, Gemini, as an air sign, you are very good at. You can see the writing on the wall. You're able to be a part of those side conversations that lead to the general whole. You have a way of understanding what individuals within a group need in order to get on the same page or to promote or advance something that will be an innovation. So I feel that you have at this stage gathered enough faith in your abilities and skills to move in a direction that is completely new for you. You may be exercising the same professional skills, but it is in a very different context. And this really does go along with the new moon energy for you, where you are releasing something that used to define you. Your approach used to define you, but this approach is no longer working for you. Now you're really looking more honestly and authentically at your motivations, at your intentions. If this reading is resonating with you so far, Gemini, please like this video, share this with others if you feel inclined to do so, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I really appreciate all of you that are here and all the ways that you support me. So I thank you in advance for that. The Ten of Staffs in the past, I'm going to clarify with a couple of cards. Got the Ace of Swords and the Two of Wands. They're both kind of repeats, aren't they? And the Two of Staffs is clarified by the Strength card, one more, the Page of Swords, and the Fool card in the future is clarified by the Star card and the Queen of Cups. So there are a couple of themes going on here. I see a fair amount of swords in your reading at this point. And as often some wands in there too. So that's a good combination of your moving things forward based on inspiration, based on your desire to grow, the way that you get lit up by an idea or a project. And swords gives you the detachment from your feelings to be able to rationalize and move forward clear-headedly. And this clearly is important with the decision that you're currently contemplating. So in the past, your ability to carry the responsibility for the team is an insight that is coming to you currently. This is something that may have been very obvious to others, is so much of a practice in your professional life that you don't even see it. This instinct, this compulsion to do things for everyone so that everyone is happy, everyone's needs are met. And what often happens is, even if you benefit, the level of sheer exhaustion is not sustainable. Ultimately, if you're giving everything that you've worked for away or making sure that others get a share, it is unlikely that you're getting much of a share for your effort. And this is a style of working that you are releasing, you're letting go of that. And this comes to you as a truth that you are only now beginning to appreciate. This is also a reiteration of the fact that you are really recognizing what you do well, but that there's a different way to do it that will likely be more beneficial, more rewarding, more profitable, more abundant for you. And this plan is a way that you are considering how you move forward in the future, not taking everybody into account, but really taking in your honest, authentic desire, what you want to accomplish for you. You can already rest assured that what is going to benefit you benefits others. And you've learned this now. There are other ways to provide for others than giving away all of the effort that you have created in the past. And so in the present, the Two of Staffs, again reiterating this new way of proposing your energies into the world, how you're extending yourself. You have kept this up for a long time. There's a lot here that speaks to a sustained effort over a great deal of time, and how much you had to sacrifice to continue to work in this manner. So there's a way in which everything you did had other people in mind, and that may have been part of the mechanism of the way you promoted or managed a project. In other words, you may have had literal partners that required you to factor in the needs of others in your work. However, I do see that working solo, even though that's what you have been doing to some extent, the decisions you've made in the past were all to give away or share or take care of others, provide for others. And that's required strength for others, carrying the silent strength, doing everything that needed to be done without protest, if anything, with encouraging others as to what they could be doing to support this effort. But never a word of complaint. There's a sense that this was your job to do. This was the job you were supposed to be doing. So this is you meeting the Herculean expectations of others. Others expected you to do all this and more. And there was really very little left over for you. And I'm seeing that aspects of the way that you have practiced your profession or your relationship style, really, there was very little effort to share a healthy model with you, to experience a positive way to be in partnership with others. in a way that was equitable for everyone involved, I don't think you got that memo ever. And so what's been left to you is you working yourself to the bone on behalf of other people and coming away with very little to show. Now, there may be a lot of reasons as to why this didn't work out, but the fact that you assumed so much responsibility left you little opportunity for healthy relationships, fun, healthy lifestyle, other activities that would support you in knowing how to work more equitably with others. There's a sense here that you are alone in carrying the need to provide for others. And in the future, with the Fool, there's this sense now that you need to figure out what's right for you, particularly given an abundant gift that you have. This gift of working with others, sharing ideas with others, helping others, teaching others what they need to know to move to the next step, innovating something, being a part of something that is new and fresh. And you are learning to put that energy into your own needs. And when you do that, it's so interesting how the tide completely changes. The star card indicates that suddenly you grasp this greater vision for the world. This is not about leaving others behind. This is about understanding yourself as the source of effort, of positive contribution to the team, to the community, to the family, owning that in a way that does not take away from you, but instead moves forward, prioritizing your goals, knowing that what you're doing is making a contribution, not by taking care of everybody, but by taking care of yourself, by being honest about what you need and what you desire, and pursuing that. This is really an interesting reading. I'm going to finish up with the language of oracles, the language of flowers, I should say, oracle. And I pulled the geranium, and the key word is virility. Virility is strength. It's fertility. It's the ability to stand up and be a positive force in the world. It reads, shake it up a little. You've got this. Thank you so much, Gemini, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.